Okay, so it's dinner time, and you decided you want to have some eggplant. So you come out and you just evaluate your eggplant. Of course, I've had my eye on this one for a while now, so this eggplant is going to be tonight's dinner. I like to cut them right when I'm about to use them, and rather than have them, sitting around for hours. So you just come in and you just cut. I don't know if I cut it off. I got a nice eggplant there. You can let them get much bigger. I don't like really huge eggplants because they produce more seeds. This one's going to have a lot less seeds in it than a big one will. And that's not quite enough for dinner. So we've got another nice one that I've been looking at that's growing over here. So we're going to take this one too, and the two of them will be plenty for dinner. Okay, so we have our eggplant that we took off the plant just a little while earlier. I'm going to use those. Take a little knife and just kind of bring these up a little bit, because sometimes the eggplants have these little thorns on them. So just bring them up a little bit so they're out of my way. And then just peel it. I do this rather than cutting the top right off, because I think I get as much of the eggplant as I can rather than cutting too much off of it and wasting anything. Peel it away. Now, eggplants will oxidize, so you're going to want to take a wet paper towel and put over them, so that if you don't get them redded before they oxidize, and again, I like the smaller eggplants because they don't quite usually have as much seeds. This one's a little bit smaller than I would have had, but the other one wasn't quite big enough for a two-person meal. So adding this little baby in there should do the trick. So we've got two peeled eggplants ready for slicing. Clear these peels away. Cutting board. A nice knife. And people like different sizes. I'm not a person who likes really big, thick slices, but you see how this one's smaller here, so what I'll do is I'll do those long ways so that the pieces will still be of some substance. And then I can do these in rings. And 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch is probably about the right size. And you can see they're just little baby seeds right now, so it's just much nicer, I think. So in here we'll do the same thing to the top. We'll just do it in stripes and then rings. Pretty simple. Take our paper towels, we'll just get them a little wet. Take off the plant. Pile them on. You can see the difference between the smaller one and the one that was a little bit bigger. You can see the seeds are a little more developed. Now we take our wet paper towels. Just going to put it over top of the whole mess. And that should keep it good till we get our egg and bread mixture ready. Now we're set up for our breading method. With this, what I have here, I'm going to use 2 eggs. Shall I go? use a tiny bit of water to loosen it up. And mix it up there. Some breadcrumbs in a bowl. Now these breadcrumbs already have some flavorings in them and some cheese. I like to add a little cheese, a little extra. Just makes them that much better. Mix that around a little bit. Now if these were unseasoned, I'd use my own seasonings. Sometimes you get little balls of cheese, so you got to go in and break them up. Okay, now it's pretty simple. We've got our eggplant here. I'll take a few and I'll just dump them right in. Get them in there and then cover it back up. Again, keeping the oxidation to a minimal. And just make sure you get both sides. Now, some people use flour. All the cooking shows, every time I always see flour, they dredge it in flour and then put it in the egg mixture. I grew up seeing my mom do it this way. I've always done it this way. And I've never had a problem. I just take it, dip it in the egg, dip it in flour, in the breadcrumbs, and there you go. It's real simple. And with this method here, my hands don't get dirty. I use the fork. I drop it in, use the spoon here to get it all covered, and then I just dive in with my hand and get the rest of it covered. You can throw a couple pieces in at a time with a bowl like this and small enough pieces. And again, just use your spoon to get it all covered up. Tap it down, flip it over, tap it down again, and look. Perfectly breaded eggplant. No flour needed. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of these, and then we'll cook them and see what we get. First eggplant of the season is always the best. I don't even buy a lot of eggplant during the year because if it's not mine, it's not the same. I don't know. It just tastes so much fresher and more delicious. Now they're all breaded. Everything's breaded nice and good. Still have a little egg mixture left. That's why I usually use 2 eggs, because another thing I grew up with was bread balls. So you take the egg mixture and some of the bread crumbs, a little bit of extra cheese to kind of get it jazzed up a little bit more. Just mix it up. A bit more. Just mixed up so it's kind of consistency like this. And you can do a little more salt and pepper. I like to give them a shot of garlic and onion powder too. Again, because it's just bread and eggs and cheese, so it's just some flavor. But still comes out very good. Now a lot of times, like if I'm breading something like eggplant, the breadcrumbs that I don't use, I can put right back in because that's not a product that I'm worried is going to contaminate it. Like if you use raw chicken on your breadcrumbs, well then those you've got to throw away. Same thing with a lot of the raw meats. So this is a good way of using up that, because even if you used it on chicken or something like that, now you're going to cook it. So you don't have to worry. You just take a bunch of it and you just mound it into a ball just like you would a meatball, and you get bread balls. Just do a couple real quick. You try to make them too round, you compact them too much, and they're too dense and not enjoyable. That's it. Next we're going to cook them up and Parmesan.